Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Hopefully y'all checked out the okay, let's put that there. Actually, we're gonna put that there and then put that there. All right, now we're out of here. Okay. Hopefully y'all checked out the link in the description, right? It's not on YouTube, it's a Instagram link, right? Um I know y'all got a whole lot to say, right? And it's from the brother Return of Kings. That's the name of the channel on or the page on Instagram, right? IG. And so you see these three women, and shout out to everybody that's here right now. These three women from Philly, right? You Philly brothers got to explain to me, is this standard Philly operating, is this Philly women's, operandi, right? Is this standard Philly? Seems so. But okay, so the brother Return of Kings interviews, well, questions these women, right? And he asked them a set of questions. One is what does the minimum a man has to make to date you? The first woman thinks about it for a couple seconds, says 150 a year. The second woman backs her up. The third woman backs her up. Now, so it's, well, if she say 150, I'm definitely not going to go under that. Now, these are supposed to be friends, right? Now, so you already see where this is going. First woman says 150. The other one's got to back her up. Now, how many of these people really think it's 150? How many of these people think that these women are only having sex with men that earn 150 plus, right? I'm not going to talk about these women weight. I'm not going to talk about how they look. Let's just say, how many of these women are real out of those three women? How many of us think that all three of them really aren't having sex with and aren't going out with men that don't earn at least 150? Because remember, he asked, what's the minimum a man has to make, right? So there's that, right? So once again, first woman says 150, second woman backs her up, third woman backs her up. Okay, cool. So 150 a year it is. Right now, the next question: how much money do you make? Right? Do you make 150? The first woman says yes, she does. Now, that remains to be seen. The first woman says yes, she does. She does earn 150 a year. That's what she says. That's what she said. Right? The second woman says no, she doesn't. The third woman says no, she doesn't. Right? So, but it doesn't matter. Right? Because when he asks, do you earn that? The second and third woman say no, they don't, but that's what he has to earn. Fine, cool. The third woman says he has to make more than me. Okay, cool. All right, this is you, Philly. This is you. Philly, stand up. Right? Okay. All right. Now, the most interesting question: which one of y'all married? Now, all four of them start laughing. The three women and Return of Kings starts laughing, and then he walks away. His point is proven. He asks, would y'all be willing to do 50-50 with the $150,000 a year man? All of them say no. Now, Shira 7, obviously, right? For all of you that caught the woman that said sprinkle. Now, Shira 7's channel isn't that huge on YouTube, but from my understanding, she has a crap ton of followers on TikTok, where a brother could be interviewing random black women, and you hear sprinkle. Random black women, and all of these women look like they're in their 30s or 40s, all three of them. So random 30-something, 40-something-year-old women are quoting Shira 7. Shira 7, none of them are in relationships. Well, at least none of them are married. That was his question. Which one of y'all are married? None of them are married. They quoting you, but none of them got the ring. White man, black man, Latino man, no man. They're not married, Shira. Right? Sounds nice, but no ring. Right? So all that standard talk now, oh my God, the comments. The women are copping, please. Ooh, the women. Well, standards talk, all the standards talk, right? All the talk about standards, all of it, of course. right? And the women are right. We can't tell women what their standards should be, right? But 150 a year, what percentage of men in general, not just black men, what percentage of men make 150 a year, less than 10? Ooh, goddamn. It ain't looking good, Shira. 150 a year. I wish the brother would have asked, how long are you prepared to be single because a man hasn't met these standards? That would have been a really good question. How long are you prepared to be single, right? Less than 10% of men earn $150,000 a year, right? 330 some odd million Americans. Less than 10% of men earn $150,000 a year. I'm going to bring up Brianna Joy Gray. Yes, Miss Badfaith herself, for those of you that haven't checked out the Badfaith channel. It's a political channel, Lefty Talk, right? She recently had the brother Army Osei Frimpong on, right? And they got into the conversation about relationships for 2.3 seconds, dating. They brought it up a couple of times, right? And Brianna Joy Gray already told you Brianna Joy Gray, remember, this was Bernie Sanders' press secretary. Attorney told you herself she has not dated a six-figure man yet. A man that was trending into six figures, but not yet. And once again, when speaking to Army, she went to this place, and I would have loved if Army could have kind of got her to elaborate, where she pretty much said in one of those blink if you miss it comments, yeah, she could end up with a six-figure dude if she was willing to date outside of her race and date a horrible person. Uh-oh. See, there's what Chrissy and Yanni say, and then there's the women that's actually moving in those circles and what they say. Uh-oh. I know someone personally who has said the same thing. Someone very near and dear to Mr. Z who has said the same thing. Yeah, I could have ended up with that dude if I wanted someone that was secretly on the DL. Right? If I wanted a horrible ass man that earns six figures, yeah, I could have a six-figure man. I could have a six-figure white man. One of those marriages of convenience, right? I'm moving and shaking, he's moving and shaking. We have one of those marriages of convenience. Interracial marriage, yeah. I could have a six-figure white man. What am I willing to put up with? I don't want that. But here you have these three women from Philly on vacation, this random setup, right? And you hear the delusion, you hear the sprinkle. Look at what social media is doing to black women. Taking their delusion and cranking it up to 12, right? Taking their delusion and cranking it up to 12. Because all of these content creators across social media, across the different social media platforms, got these women sounding absolutely insane. And then calling it standards. Calling it boundaries. Your insanity is standards. Okay. Look, I'm all for people telling you exactly what they want, what they're looking for, what they won't settle for, who they won't settle for. And Mr. Z is always about asking, oh, you know what? Better yet, saying, you know what? I hear you. Let's give it some time. I want to give these people half a decade, maybe even 2 decades. Let's see if it works. Let's see if what you're talking about works. Right? Let's see if what you're talking about works. 150 a year. And the first woman says she earns 150 a year. I don't know if that alcohol in the cup was talking. That might have been the drink talking. I don't know. I'm not gonna say she doesn't, but I don't know. That remains to be seen. The second woman, and remember, 150 they said was the minimum a man. That was what Return of Kings asked. What's the minimum a man has to make? And they said 150. Right? So y'all keep that in mind. 150 is the minimum. Random women over here quoting Shira 7 and telling you 150 a year. Is the minimum they'll take. And once again, the question remains, is that how much the men that you've dated in the past, is that how much they earn? And we're once again, we're assuming these women don't have children, right? We're assuming these women don't have children, that they don't have any type of like, disgusting proclivities, that there's something not wrong with them. We're just, taking them at face value. What you see is what you get. What they said is above board, cool. The first woman said she earned 150 a year, all right, fine. 150 a year. And sprinkle, all righty then. And the question, once again, how is this supposed to work, right? Across the board, what you're hearing is 100,000, 150, 300,000. How is this supposed to work? Wait, it's not working. It's going to the crapper all around the country, all around the West, all around the developed world, all around the developing world. Goddamn. Now, the guys that they find physically attractive, that they're willing to smash, that they want to let smash, you think those guys got to come to the table at 150 a year? Somebody want to tell me that these women right now are either virgin or celibate, that they're not having sex with no man because, they're not dating the man they can't find the man that earns 150 a year? Huh. 150 a year. Y'all heard right. So why are we covering this? Why is this important? Just to remind y'all that this is what it is. From women like this. And this was random. And we definitely got to bring up the Shira 7 sprinkle. Return of Kings randomly, from my understanding, from what we can see from the video, these random interviewing women, right? These women on vacation. They're on the beach. Random interview. And we hear sprinkle from random black women from Philly. So they're sharing this type of content. And these are the people that Dr. Umar wants us to make wives out of. Women that said they need a man that earned 150 a year and sprinkle. Right? We get into the Shira 7, talk. Huh. Right? And Mr. Donnie Mack says 6% of U.S. women earned $150,000 in 2022. 6%. Right? 6%. I Am Wolf says, I think about 2 to 3 million on TikTok. So that's how much Shira 7, that's how many followers she has on TikTok. Right? Lottery dreams, y'all. Manifest talk, lottery dreams, Earth Mother Goddess talk, I deserve it because I was born with a womb talk. That's a man's job talk. It doesn't matter what I do. A man's job is to provide and protect. It doesn't matter what I do, how I do it, what I say, how I act, how I comport myself. It is a man's job to do this. Period. Sounds nice, right? Of course they're gonna listen to Chrissy. Of course they're gonna listen to Yanni. Of course they're gonna listen to Paris. Of course they're gonna listen to Mahogany Peak and Lexus Exodus and Cynthia G and Crystalline Karazin and Shira Seven and name them, because it sounds good. It sounds good, right? To be on this sprinkle and weirdo manifest talk, and if you do this and do that, then your man will come, right? Sounds nice. Huh. And the which one of y'all are married, and then the laugh afterward. He don't gotta say no more. His point is proven. One question, his point is proven. One question, and the entire Black Manosphere point is proven. Odie Sanders, which one of y'all married? Forget just the black man. Which one of y'all married to any man? Oop, goddamn. Well, now this is something that women say they want. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks, right? This is something that women claim they want. They want marriage. They want it. Women, most black women still want to be married, right? From our understanding, most black women still want to be some type of monogamous. And how is that going to work with $150,000 a year standards, which no man in America in majority earns? No man in significant minority earns, right? Who earns the most in America? Indian men, Indian American men, and they're at 120. Well, goddamn, and that's on average. I think that's not even median. So we're not talking about women from New York or LA or Miami. We're talking about women from Philly. Philly's not bad, but Philly's not Miami, New York, or LA. Is Philly even Atlanta? Right? Leon said most black women want to be married. Most, they want the wedding, Leon. They want at least the wedding, right? They want to be princess for a day. And at the end of princess for a day, that equals marriage. If they can have princess for a day without the marriage, I think most of them would sign up for that. I won't even disagree with you on that one, right? They want to claim that they have a husband at least once in their life, right? So this is what interviewing random women gets you. Internet talk. Now, you know, I was privy to a phone call or to an answering machine, right? I was privy to a conversation. Well, a person calling into her homegirls and leaving them a message, and over the message was a couple of minutes long, and you heard every single trope that black women were saying on the internet at the time, and this message was about 2 years ago. This was about 2 years ago. And every single trope that you can manifest it, you don't got to be loyal to black men. This woman went on this diatribe for a few minutes, and it was every single one of these. Anything that you see on social media that black women were talking about, that young lady touched every single one of it. She checked every single box, right? And so we can see how media in general, but social media specifically, its effect on women, black women specifically. To interview random black women and you hear sprinkle, sprinkle, Shira 7, Shira 7 talk. These women are going to break. They are going to shatter. You can argue they're already breaking now. They're already ripping at the seams now. As they get older, and we're speaking about particularly young Xers, millennials, Gen Z, black women, as they get older, as they're 40 something turn into 50 something, as they're 30 something turn into 40 something, as they're 20 something turn into 30 something, and they still don't have these things in that they claim they want, that they desire, and they still don't have it. It ain't looking good, right? It's not looking good. And so as they're shattering, the question is, what the hell are black men supposed to do with this? I say nothing. I say run for your life. But Dr. Umar Johnson and FD Signifier, I, that's a real question. If we're in the spirituality talk and the manifest talk and the sprinkle, sprinkle voodoo and talk, right? What does a decade of that, of speaking like that and it not working and you not getting what you say you want, you're not acquiring these things you want, what does a decade of that and it not working look like? What does 2 decades of that and it not working look like? Right? Are black men supposed to pick up the pieces when these women start breaking and shattering and exploding all over the place or imploding all over the place? Are we going to find some type of weird way, which we will, or we will try to blame black men for this? Delusional women, like borderline clinically delusional women, incentivized by different characters on social media, and black men are going to be held responsible for 40 something and 50 something and 60 something year old black women having nervous breakdowns, right? Black men are going to be the ones to be blamed for that, huh? Because she spent a couple decades listening to Paris Milan and Shira 7 and Chrissy and Real Talk with Yanni and these types. But it's going to be black men that are going to be held responsible for that, right? When women like these women claiming they make 150 a year, when they age out of the game and they're cat ladies or teacup dog ladies, right? When they age out of the game and they cat ladies and teacup dog ladies, and this is their life, and they didn't earn enough so that Social Security could float them for the rest of their life. And black men are going to be blamed for this, right? And Dr. Umar Johnson and his ilk in 2 decades are going to find a way to say this is black men's fault. What schools have you built for the black boys so that they could graduate school and have to deal with this? It's our job to deal with this, Dr. Umar Johnson, and to make sense of this, and to turn women like this into wives? Women that's telling you the minimum is 150. Now we understand, like, yo, come on. We know they fronting, but are they? And even if they are, what does it mean to be with the woman that is with you and you making 60, 70, 80? But really, she's kind of looking at you like, this nigga need to be making 150. Why isn't he making 200, a quarter million? Right? What did the young lady tell Kevin Samuels? She was in her 20s. What, her mid 20s? Was she in her earlier mid 20s? Her man was in his earlier mid 20s, maybe late 20s. I think she said he was 27 or something like that, 28. The man was making $75,000 a year. She said it's not enough. Well, damn. So he was earning more than 2/3 of men will ever earn in their lifetime in America. And he was in his 20s. And she said that's not enough. And she was seriously contemplating breaking up with him. $75,000 a year in your 20s. What's the retirement age right now? What, 65? Let's say he's 27. He has a whole other like 40 years left. If he retires at 65, let's say 67, he has another 40 years left. You want to break up with a guy that's in his 20s earning 75,000 when 2/3 of men never earn more than that. Well, never earn more than what, 65, I think it is, 65, $66,000 in America. That's the same mindset that gets you these women. That's the same mindset that subscribes to Chrissy. That's the same mindset that gets you to subscribe to Shira 7, Sprinkle Sprinkle. That's the same mindset that calls in the Kevin Samuel show, talking about men not being on her level. Right? That's the same mindset. Right? Huh. So I just wanted to come to y'all with that, give y'all a little bit of rage, rage prawn. And is it really rageful? It's not really. It's really not. We're used to this, right? We hear this all the time. It's actually not rageful, right? It's just another. Okay, yeah, this again. And you have a couple of women in the comments. I'm so tired of this stupid conversation. Why does this matter? Why does their preference matter? It's not just a preference. It's not just a preference anymore. What did Alba say? This is a sickness. This is a sickness. And what is it about America where you could just interview random women and they're talking six-figure talk, right? Particularly black women, but you can interview random women and they're talking six-figure talk. What is it about America that's causing this? Right? And these are the women that we chastise our sons for not turning into wives, right? Hmm. These are, excuse my background, yo. And one police. Okay. All right. All right. Right. So, on that note, everybody, this one don't gotta be too long. What we at, 30 minutes? Yeah. As a matter of fact, heh, I'm really I'm really I don't know how this looks in the next couple decades. I'm really playing around with this thought of like interviewing these people now, trying to get like a idea of who they are, really who they are and whatever, and then letting them live their life and then try to find them if you're still alive and they're still alive in 25 years and saying, okay, how did all of this work? Did you have an epiphany? Did you change your mind? Did you stick to it? Did you have children if you didn't have children? Did you ever want to be married? Like all the questions, you would ask questions now and then give them a decade or two and then ask them the same questions in that 2 decades to see how it worked, right? Did they get what they wanted? Did things turn out the way they wanted it to? Or did they just end up single, childless, or just single, had a child, right? Oops, baby, maybe planned, you never know, but didn't stay with the baby's father. That's something to really, so that you can track these things. I mean, you have these long-term experiments. Maybe this needs to be one of these like social long-term experiments. These particular people that go on Daily Wrap-Up Crew or that were on Kevin Samuel's show or whatever, one of these kind of shows, Obie Allen or whoever, right? And we hear their standards and their ideas and what men should be and what a relationship should look like, et cetera, right? And we come back and ask them how these things went in 20 years, 25 years, and if they worked, great. What did you do, right? Do you want to give up the secrets? And if it didn't work, well, why do you think it didn't, right? That's something to consider, right? Homegirl said sprinkle. When I heard that sprinkle, sprinkle, I was like, oh boy, oh, we off the internet now, right? We outside, right? That's what the young kids are saying. We're outside. We're off the internet. And shout out to all the people. These stupid internet conversations. Excuse me. I'm so tired of this conversation. Excuse me. Stupid internet conversation, right? Shout out to all you people that think stuff like this doesn't matter. We're talking about having children in the black community. We're talking about relationship dynamics. We're talking about the angst between black men and black women, family formation, family rearing, child rearing, right? Nuclear family, divorce, all of that is wrapped up in this conversation. So for all of those people that think this is just some stupid internet conversation, Exhibit A. Real woman, real life, sprinkle, sprinkle. Right? Real woman, real life. Using a term that an internet character came up with. An internet personality. a social media personality. Now what? And once again, it seems like Return of Kings just randomly picked these women. This is not somebody that he went after, or, sought after, tried to interview them for 2-3 months. No, random, random. We hear sprinkle, sprinkle. Now what? Right? Huh. So on that note, everyone, Mr. Z is gonna end it on out. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I see Jason Black was streaming. Um, I already got an idea what he's talking about based off the thumbnail. Right. So we'll see if that's something that we have some commentary for tomorrow. And yeah. Right. But yeah, I definitely wanted to bring this to y'all just to make sure y'all stay the course. The message is the message. Right. The message hasn't changed because these women haven't changed. Right. Sprinkle, sprinkle from random Black women. Right. That's the thing. Sprinkle, sprinkle in which one of y'all married, and they all laugh. Exactly. Point proven. Think Trail. That broad who said she makes 150 a year, but she ain't no roommate, bro. You ain't no roommate. And that's that Chrissy talk, right? That's that Chrissy talk. That Shayna, shout out to all you women doing 50-50 relationships. Is you single? And you like doing polyamorous, polygamous things, right? Like, get out of here. Oh no, sorry. Polygynous, polyamorous things, bro. Get out of here, bro. Right? I'm gonna say your last name, but Tommy, thank you for the cash app. Thank you for the cash app. Right? Yeah, I heard that. I almost forgot about that. Thank you, Tro. We don't do no roommates. That that's Yanni. That's Chrissy. That's Parrot. She's getting that talk from all of them. All of them say that pretty much say that same thing. That's Shira 7. We don't do no roommates. Meanwhile, actually, some of you do. Then, secondly, some of you are living at home with your parents. Goddamn. And then third, yeah, y'all single as hell. Oh, Dr. Thunder says Candace Owens recently used misandry in a sentence. Uh-oh. Candace Owens, okay, excuse me, Candace Owens still, I don't know about that one, Dr. Thunder. The word duplicitous comes to mind. Right? I stay looking at Candace Owens sideways, and it's not just because she's conservative. Right? I don't know. I don't know about trusting the message, though. I mean, if she's spreading the message, then of course. But I'm still gonna look at her sideways. Right? Candace Owens is. I see her as a bad faith actor, but if she's gonna push the message, let her push the message and be ready for the backstab or for the I didn't know what I was doing, or I don't really mean though, I had a second thought, or I got exposed to something, and Huh. Right. I would be careful with that one. If she's using the word misandry and making it more popular and more mainstream, then that's definitely important, right? But hmm, you know. And by the way, I saw the thumbnail, Doctor Thunder, on what was that Freedom Fest? I think you went to. Shout out to Doctor Thunder, right? Doctor Thunder said swirler. She definitely is. She definitely is. Definitely is. Right. You know. So yeah. Like I said, um, we don't we don't do roommates. Yawn. Well, yeah, hey, who's whoever said misery loves company, man. A bunch of these single social media commentators helping other black women to be comfortable being single when they still not comfortable being single, right? Candace is Tommy Lauren chocolate dipped and married. Exactly. Right. And you got to ask yourself, well, you know what? He comes off like a pushover. I don't know if he actually is, but her husband, yeah, I saw that. I saw a bit of that interview, and it looked real cringy. Where she interviewed her husband, not bleh. Hey, shout out to you, black women that could deal with it. All right, right. But yeah, that room. I'm glad Trail brought that back up. That roommate's comment. That really is a black female social media type comment. All of them have either said that or alluded to it. International Ronin, exactly. International Ronin says there's about to be a crap ton of Golden Girls situations out there in 20 years. This comment right here. Exactly, brother. Exactly. Exactly. And they are going to literally still be, and I forward to everyone. These women will be in their 50s, sounding like 20-something-year-olds, still telling you how they don't need no man, and they don't. They won't, except to get something off of a top shelf or for handy stuff around the home. But they won't because they'll be leaning on their network of other women, and the radical feminists would have won. And these women will be none the wiser. Radical feminists coming out the 60s and 70s would have won. Their dream would have been realized. And random women that were born in the late 70s, those are young Xers, the 80s, the early 90s, these are millennials and Gen Zs, right? The late 90s, they would have thought that they got to where they are, living 4 or 5 deep in one house, out of either happenstance or because this is what they wanted, and not because some radical feminist 30, 40, 50 years ago wanted this for you, and this is what it is. Because they're waging a war against men, and they're using you as the cannon fodder. You and your sensibilities. Talking about you ain't gonna do no roommates. Yeah, you will. It just won't be men. Right. I definitely agree with International Ronin on that one. Once again, sound nice. Right, exactly, Trell. They're single by choice. Yeah, that's it. You're single by choice, not because you're delusional. right? You're single by choice, not because you're delusional and you tried that for 20 some odd years of your life. As an adult from 18 to about 45, right? So on that note, let's really close out. All right, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Mr. Z is gonna try to come in with a panel tomorrow night, right? I'm gonna try to do a panel tomorrow night, right? I should have a couple hours tomorrow night, so let's try to knock that out. All right, everyone. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God, so y'all don't sound like these three women coming out of Philly. Whoever knows them, tell them this is not a good look, because the brother shut everything down when he said, "Which one of y'all are married?" No more talk. Ain't nothing else need to be said. He said everything with that. He said y'all are delusional with that. He said it ain't gonna work with that. He said go buy a dog and die alone with that, or be a cat lady, or get ready for your Golden Girls future. He said everything that needed to be said with that one question, and the fact that all of you laughed because all of you knew that y'all were not marriage bound. And once again, we only talk about women that either claim they want to be married, that are dating, supposedly looking for marriage. If you say you want to be single, fine. You are not part of the conversation. Although I probably doubt you. But fine, you don't want to be, you're not part of the conversation. But for all the rest of you, all right. And on that note, all right, everybody, y'all have a great rest of your night. Mr. Z out.